Here we are. It's October 6, 2021. My name is Sarah McLean, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. We are live here, and we're on Zoom. And if you're listening to this on recording, you can always join us live, unless you're sleeping, every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and 5 p.m. GMT. So you can find out more about it at McLeanMeditation.com. So I want to welcome you. I'm so glad you're here. There are about 50 of us on the call right now. And I was thinking about what I needed today in terms of a meditation practice. And I think that this time, at least it's been, going on, I was saying 19 months or so that we've been in this pandemic experience. And it's hard to believe how time flies, tempus fugit, as they say. And what do I need? What do you need when it comes to this experience? I know that when I meet with my neighbors and my friends, we often talk about how whatever choice you've made in terms of how you take care of yourself, it's a really a big time of awakening to who you are, what you want, what's important to you. And so I like to, along with awakening, bring compassion into it. And so I thought we could today practice Maitri, which means loving kindness in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, but practicing a loving kindness meditation so we can explore those areas that we may not be being compassionate with ourselves or with people who are different than we are. So I often say, with meditation, the word itself refers to a whole myriad of practices, whether it's loving kindness or mindfulness, whether it's mantra or walking meditations, whether it's the wheel of awareness or silent open awareness practices. The word meditation really refers to that whole variety of practices. And there's so many ways to meditate. And each one of us has to find one that suits us. My recommendation is to meditate at least once a day for 20 minutes, but if you want to upgrade your spiritual life, to meditate twice a day for 20 minutes. And the best times of day to meditate, besides this in a group, and it's always great to meditate in a group, is to meditate first thing in the morning when you wake up, get up to sit down, 20 minutes or so. And the best time of day is between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., wherever you are. It's sort of the time before the cortisol in your body starts to be released. It's a relatively spiritual time of day. In spiritual traditions, they often call it the ambrosia hour. The ambrosia hours before the world is waking up. So that's the best time of day in the morning, sometime between 4 and 6 a.m. for about 20 minutes. And then the second best time of day is what I call happy hour, same time, 4 to 6 p.m., when you're feeling like you need to be refreshed, maybe slough off the stress that you've been accumulating all day, and to kind of move into your evening with more peace and comfort. So meditation, regardless of what you do, ideally twice a day, if you're really on a spiritual path. And so often I start my mornings with a silent mantra practice, but then in the afternoons or when I'm in a group, I often like to meditate, doing something a little different, bringing in a new flavor, so to speak. So the word meditation refers to the various practices, and yet there's also one aspect of the word meditation that it refers to, which is the state of consciousness that you get into when you're practicing. And I know I've talked about this before, but there's truly a new state of awareness, a new state of consciousness that can be cultivated through meditation. And if you're new to meditation, this state of awareness may feel something like sleeping or napping or dozing. And in fact, it's none of that. Although you can sleep, nap, and doze in meditation, there's a state of consciousness that you can get into through the practice, which takes your mental activity from the world of experiencing form and phenomenon, and then more and more subtle levels of that into that state of deep rest. It's called restful awareness because you're not asleep. It's not restful dullness like sleep or napping. It's restful awareness where you're aware, but you're not necessarily tuned in or charmed by anything external or even internal. It's just this awareness of awareness. And that may sound esoteric and bizarre, but it is an actual natural experience that can happen with meditation. So I wanted to talk about the three experiences you can really have, three categories of experiences you can have when you meditate. The first is very common to all of us. It's the experience of movement, and that refers to movement of thoughts, movement of the body, like twitches or tears or coughing or yawning or heat, or itchiness or coolness, swaying. A movement of thoughts refers to the mental activity, the ideas, even the visuals. Sometimes you see colors, sometimes you see numbers, sometimes you see scenes, and sometimes you have just thoughts about daily activities in the mundane world. So movement of thoughts, movement of the body, and movement of emotions. Sometimes in meditation, you can have an emotion come up, like an instant of fear or an instant of bliss or an instant of worry. And these quite often pass as quickly as they come. And my suggestion is to not spend too much time trying to identify why the emotion comes up, but instead just sort of experience it and then let it move have its own life. Don't try to repress it. Don't try to put an overlay of I should be spiritual and feel good when you don't. Instead, just let the emotion come, have its own life. Don't leave. Just let it be here, and then just go back with the practice. So movement is the first category of experiences, movement of mind, body, and emotions. And the second category of experience is what I mentioned earlier, which is sleep, the dull state of awareness. That can happen. That happens in meditation, especially if you're particularly fatigued or not getting the rest that you need. And the third category of experience in meditation is what is called transcendence. Now, you've heard of transcendental meditation. Transcendence means to simply go beyond the mental activities, go beyond the sensory experience of, smell and sight and taste and smell, and it also and sound, and it also means to kind of go beyond your body. It's not that you leave your body; it's that your body seems to disappear into the world of awareness itself. There's no separation, and this experience is not really an experience, but it's under that category because you need an experiencer to have an experience. But what's happening is you, the subject, and that which you're experiencing, whether it's the breath or a loving kindness practice, at some point, there is just awareness itself. Now, you can't make it happen. It's a natural experience of meditation. But it does happen sometimes, and it's often for new meditators, they don't know what that is. So we can put that in the category of transcendence. And it can happen briefly for a second when you suddenly take a deep breath and you go, where am I? You are probably transcending. Or if you start losing track of time and space, you are likely transcending. But you can't make it happen by thinking about it. Instead, you kind of have to surrender to whatever technique you've chosen to do that day. So those are the three categories of experience. It's good to know because everything that happens in meditation is actually beneficial. You don't want to over meditate. What I mean by that is some people find meditation, fall in love with it, and then start meditating 5 hours a day. I recently heard about someone who's doing that. And sometimes it can accelerate the stress release. And if it accelerates the stress release, it can start creating some roughness in there. You might feel extremely sensitive. You might feel extremely ungrounded. You might feel very moody. So more is not better. 20 minutes twice a day, 30 minutes twice a day, that should suit anybody. More would be okay if you were moving into a meditation community of some sort where someone's cooking for you, taking care of you, and making sure you don't wander off. So it's not that you lose your mind, it's that the relative world doesn't become quite as important as sort of that bliss that you can experience in meditation. Anyway, I welcome you. I'm glad you're here. We're going to get comfortable. And as many of you know with meditations with me, is I often talk about the 5 essentials. First, it's okay to have thoughts and be distracted. If that happens, just come on back again and again to the practice, and hopefully my voice, if it helps. Some people we meditate for about 20 minutes. Some people like to just mute me, which please do, and continue the practice afterwards or even during. Also, second is really important to be kind to yourself. So whatever that looks like for you, if it looks like you need to move your posture or your positioning, or you need to get more support behind you, that would be being kind. And be kind to your mind. Don't beat yourself up if you feel distracted or have something happen that feels uncomfortable. You can simply be kind to yourself. Third, don't try to have any experiences, because trying is a mental activity. Remember what Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. You're either meditating or you're not meditating. You're not trying to meditate. So we're going to do the practice. We're not going to try to have a certain experience. We're going to let go of any expectations and let everything be as it is. So letting go of expectations means you're not going to be watching for, is this transcendence? Is this the bliss? Is this what she was talking about? We want to let go of any expectations and let everything be as it is, welcoming everything, resisting nothing, and sticking with the practice would be the fifth essential. So let's get comfortable. We're going to be practicing, as I said, loving kindness meditation, and I'm going to suggest that we begin with a body relaxation practice, and then we're going to choose a couple of phrases to send love to ourselves and to others. And I'll mention a few, but please feel free to use the ones that are more natural or comfortable for you. So I suggest people sit upright, because what happens with meditation is we create a new state of awareness. Back to the state of consciousness again, one where you're aware, but you're deeply rested. If you're lying down, it could turn into a nap. So let's begin, and you can gaze downward toward the floor if that feels comfortable, or you can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And we'll begin with mindfulness. We'll begin by noticing the environment that you're in, by listening to the sounds. Being mindful of the soundscape that's here. Welcoming everything. Refraining from judging anything as good or bad or pleasant or unpleasant. Begin to notice if you hear any sounds internally. Maybe you can hear your heartbeat or your breath. Welcome every sensation that's here, refraining from judgment or labeling. Simply being present. As you invite your breath to deepen, breathing in slowly and fully, in and out from the nose. And taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths at your own pace. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. Begin to bring your attention now to your body, to the sensation of sitting right here. Notice the support underneath your feet, the support underneath your rear. Begin to soften the body, yet feel completely supported in this moment. And soften your face, and lower your shoulders. Let go of any tension in your belly or your low back. Notice your hips, your thighs, and let go of any holding. Begin to sense where your body begins and ends, where your body meets the sensation of the air around you or the clothing on you. Begin to tune into some of the more subtle aspects of your body. Perhaps you feel the organs of in your interior, your heart, your lungs, your intestines. Perhaps you feel some tingling or a pulse. You can tune into the movement and the stillness that's here now. And tune into your most gentle nature, your most loving nature. Your most peaceful nature. And bring someone into your awareness, into your mind's eye, or sense someone that you absolutely love, that you get to experience your loving nature with. Could be someone from the past or the present, or someone who has passed. And if you can, tune into the love that you feel for them. You may silently wish them the the sentiments of loving kindness in whatever way is comfortable for you. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and happiness. And silently wish them this loving kindness. And now, bring your attention to the gentle rise and fall of your chest, letting the awareness of that loved one go. And turn these warm wishes toward yourself. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and happiness. Silently repeating these warm wishes toward yourself. Take a slow, long, deep breath. And let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And bring to your mind or heart someone you don't know very well, someone you don't have any particular feeling toward one way or another. You know this person's just like you and they want to have a good life too. Could be someone you met earlier today on a walk, someone in a grocery store, or someone here on this call. Send your warm wishes for their well-being silently. May you also live with ease and happiness. May you also live with ease and happiness. And bring to mind now someone else, someone that you might be close to, that you're having a challenging time with, or that you don't agree with in some way. Someone you care about. Bring them into your mind and heart. And just like you, they want to have a beautiful life. So let's send your good wishes to that person, silently repeating the phrase, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. Imagine as you offer these warm wishes that it has an effect on them because your attention and intention can travel through space and time. In this moment, it's touching them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from pain. And let the awareness of that one fade as you bring your attention back to you. May I live with ease. May I live with happiness. May I live with good health. For the next few minutes, you can return to your breath or continue these warm wishes toward yourself. Or if you prefer, extend them to anyone, anywhere. I'll keep track of the time. And returning now to dwell in your most gentle nature. Dwelling now in your most peaceful nature. Dwelling now in your most compassionate nature. Keeping your eyes closed. Remaining in your gentleness, your peacefulness, your compassion. Simply coming out of meditation slowly so you can integrate these qualities and the benefits into the rest of your day. Sitting in the stillness. You can begin to deepen your breath if you like. Welcome the sounds around you once again and the sensations in the body. And before opening your eyes, you might want to make a commitment or set an intention for the rest of your day, whatever it may be. And when you feel like you'd like to open your eyes all the way, you could do that. Stretch into the space around you. I like to close the meditation by bowing to the love that lives through you, as your most gentle nature, as your most peaceful nature, and as your most compassionate nature. So thank you for meditating with me today. It's yummy. Yummy. I'd love to hear from you if you want to put an intention or any insights or aha moments you had or any questions you might have had. Feel free to put that in the chat, and I'm going to say goodbye to those of you listening to the recording.